Hello guys, welcome to another lap time challenge. Today I am going to show you a lap guide with this Chevrolet Corvette VGT concept around the Laguna Seca Raceway. Now, I am a control user, as 95% of you probably know, and this compared to real is a different category. I cannot get anywhere close to the top times here. Even with the laptop I'm about to show you, which I think is decent considering what I'll have to deal with. I think there's 3-4 attempts in it max for a control use here. Unless you use the motion control, which I've never used, so I'll probably not do it in that. Anyway, looking at power graph of this car, yeah, it's a hybrid, so you get a ton of power, low revs and high revs. Yeah, you actually don't see the numbers here, but anyway, just as you from what you can see, about like third of the rest, you start to gain a lot of power, which is why I recommend using high gears on exits to one, avoid as much wheel spin as possible and keep it stable, and two, I think it's just faster anyway. Anyway, I'm going to show you the fastest lap and the detailed lap guide. Enjoy. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that lap that I've just shown. Now, two keywords for this: braking, curbs. Braking, because if you brake too late, you'll lose too much time, you'll probably understeer, and you'll have to delay your throttle a lot. And with how powerful this car is, you'll just lose a ton of time. Two, I said curbs. Now, I said curbs because on controller, if you touch most of the curbs on this track, it will stop turning immediately, and you'll just go off the track, or you'll lose way too much time, over half a second easily. I'll actually add another keyword here, it's gearing. You want to use very high gears in this car. You want to, of course, when you're braking for the corner, you want to engine brake as much as possible, so you will want to be using first, second, third, etc. But on exits, you want to, I think every single corner, I go fourth gear up, except for, I'll show you on the map here, I exited here in third gear, which was a mistake. I was supposed to be in fourth, but I was in third, and I realised way too late. Anyway, start a lap. Braking straight line. I braked just before the freeboard. Sorry, I went past it. I braked just before the freeboard. Now, I'm going to exit fifth. Now, as you can see on the full, I am about 70% full here. Now, I'm not 100% full because one, I'll understeer too wide, and two, it'll probably wheel spin too much. But 70% full is a good threshold for the car turning and carrying, getting more speed out of. Now, I was going about 47 mile an hour apex speed to start the lap here, and as soon as the car starts straightening up, I will full throttle in fifth. Now, for the first corner, here, the track goes up and down a bit, so the car will very slightly be mid-air. So, you don't want to put much turning angle into this bit. Be very gentle here. Because if you turn too much, the car might get snappy. I didn't experience this at all, but that's because I realised when the revs jumped up that the car could snap if I started putting too much steering angle in. As you can see, my revs is up here now. Normally, when I'm going at this speed, it wouldn't be this much. So as soon as I get past this bit, watch the revs again. I'm back down here. Now, first corner, there's this floorboard, literally brake on it. 100% braking. I'll start to trail brake once I get to the first bit. You can touch this inside curb here, actually. That curb is fine. Probably because we're turning and I'm not accelerating. Well, that's just my guess. Anyway, start to trail brake here. And then once I get to here, halfway through, so I'm like halfway on the outside, probably more on the closer to the outside than the inside at this point, just so I can straighten up the second bit better. Now I look for about 45, 46 mile an hour at this point. I think I was a bit slow on this particular lap because I braked a touch late and I missed the inside curb. Anyway, I exit here in fourth. Now, as you initially saw, I was about 60-70% throttle just to get the car rotated without understeering too much and to carry a bit of momentum. But once I start to straighten up, I am full throttle. It will slide a little bit with the four-wheel drive system, so just be a bit careful. Anyway, next bit. See this curb, see this 2 mark, I brake pretty much halfway between the two. So I'll brake probably about here. Try to use all the outside track, but it's very difficult because you have very little time to react and adjust in this vehicle because it's 2,000 horsepower. It's crazy. Anyway, like I said, I'm braking now. I can see with ABS light and my brake lights. I'm going to be looking for about 77 mile an hour apex speed, and I'm going to be exiting in fourth gear. And now, I believe I initially downshift to second gear to get this car engine braking. You can use the inside curb here actually as well. I will mention you can use a bit more curb than I am here. Anyway, I'm exiting fourth. Once your car's like angling towards the outside curb, go full throttle. This bit, in my opinion, one of the trickier corners. I brake a bit like a car width after the 2 board, like here. Now I downshift third and I just coast it because I really struggle in this corner. I find it faster just to coast in third. I'm looking for about 150 mile an hour apex speed from memory. Yeah, it's about 115. Again, once you start to angle towards the outside curb, go up to fourth gear, full throttle the exit. Because of aerodynamics, you want to be full throttle to carry as much momentum and speed as possible. Anyway, next bit. See this shadow here? I literally brake on the first bit. You could probably get away braking on the second bit, but I wasn't comfortable with this combo, so I brake on the first bit of the shadow. I just missed it, but braking right now, as you can see. Now I'm going to be downshifting to second gear for engine braking now. I'm looking for about 82, 83 mile an hour apex speed. I will mention, I forgot to mention in the beginning, this corner that I'm on now, I was supposed to exit in fourth, but I realised too late, I was in third gear. But fourth gear, in my opinion, is better. But third gear is okay as well if you feel more comfortable with it. The other laps I was doing before, I was in fourth gear. Again, I was looking for 82, 83 mile an hour. You can actually touch this curb as well, because it's flat. I could have definitely carried a bit more speed. I was on a little bit late, but I was in third gear, which is why I delayed it a bit, I think. Anyway, next corner, definitely one of the trickiest corners, at least under the control. Probably real as well, to be honest. Very tricky corner in general. Braking point, very hard to find. So what I used was, you see this freeboard? As soon as like the curb bit starts to straighten up, that is when I'm braking. Right here. Actually, that's a good reference point if you do see it, but I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for when the curb starts to straighten up or go a little bit to the left. That is my braking point. Now, I downshift third, and I'm looking for, I think it was about 120 mile an hour from memory. Now, I'm going to be, again, exiting in fourth. Now, I'll pause in here, touch this inside curb, you're bouncing wide. If you turn slightly too late, you are understeering wide, and you're either understeering too wide or you are losing too much speed. Now, on this particular, I didn't do the best corner here, but it was decent enough. You can use the inside curb again here, I think. Yeah, you can use the curb here. Use all the track limit there is before. If you touch the sand, I think you can even touch the sand on that bit. But if you touch it a bit too much, it will invalidate your lap time. Anyway, next bit, see this floorboard, see this white line. I'm braking about halfway between the two. Like here. Now, I'm literally on the left side of the track. You'll see me. You won't be able to see yet, but my right wheels touches this curb and I brake in a straight line towards the corner, the apex. A bit to the right of the apex actually, just so I had more of an angle to turn in. Anyway, I'm downshifted first for engine braking, and I think initially I go up to third gear for the first part, and I'm about 40% throttle from memory. I was looking for about 54, 55 mile an hour apex speed here. Cut as much as possible. Have your right wheels on this red and white part of the curb. I don't think I quite cut it enough on this particular lap. Yeah, I started to cut it, but I could have cut it a bit more. Anyway, third gear, I'm about 50% full. Now, once I get down this bigger hill part, you saw me upshift to fourth. Now, this destroyed so many of my laps. So basically, this is why I'm in fourth gear. If you start to go on throttle and you touch this part of a curb, the car will stop turning. And you lose like at least half a second. So I'm not even, I can't go full throttle here, otherwise it just bounces me. Which is why I have to lift. Which is crazy. I shouldn't have to lift here. But anyway, I have to lift. I'm about 73 mile an hour at this point from memory. I have to go 30% throttle, otherwise I just bounce. This part, again, very difficult. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to do that. Let me go back. You see this curb here? I brake a bit after it and I just coast it in third. I actually downshift to second a bit from memory. And then, because of the downforce, you can go on throttle reasonably early, but don't go full throttle. I was about 50% throttle in fourth gear, I believe, and I was looking for about 104 mile an hour on this apex here. Use all the track. This next corner, again, super, probably the difficultest corner for me for this combo. I'll explain why when I get into the corner itself. Anyway, I'm braking just before the two board, just to be safe, to be honest. You could probably brake on the two board, but I was not confident on this corner at all. Anyway, as I start to turn in, I will mention, touch this inside curb, you are gone. You are bouncing. Your car will stop turning. But again, if you're too wide, again, the car will just stop turning. So it's super difficult. I'll actually go on chase cam here. I just touch it. But again, if I touched it anymore, my lap was finished. I'd been off. I think even here I had to lift a bit. Yeah, I was so delayed on the throttle because I touched the curb. I stayed in fourth. I was looking for, I don't remember, I think it was mid-80s for that particular corner. It might even be 90. I don't remember. You'll work it out. That corner is too inconsistent for me. I can't really guide you on that corner, if I'm honest. That is probably the most difficult corner I have done on this game. It's up there. Anyway, last corner, again difficult because it depended how you carried the previous corner, how you did the previous corner. So I was very inconsistent here. Anyway, for my reference, I used as soon as the red part of the curb started, that's where I started to brake. Probably just after actually. Now I look back on it, but yeah, that's the braking point for that corner that I used. Again, you go downshift first. I just missed the apex, so probably where I first pointed it out is the ideal braking point. You want to be on the inside here. You don't want to touch that part of the curb, but you can touch this part of the curb to help get you around this corner. I'm going to exit in fourth to finish the lap. Now, whether it's faster than exiting fifth on a particular lap, I'm not 100% sure. But I did it so many times in fourth gear that I just got used to doing it in fourth gear, which is why I went in fourth gear. Now, as you see, because I missed the apex, I'm a bit wide on the exit. Now, I'll show on chase cam. I'm not even 100% full yet because I was that wide. You want your right wheels to be on this curb. Now, normally in like 95% of your other cars, you want your left wheels on this curb here. But because of how powerful this car is, You don't want that because your right wheels will lose traction here, so you'll lose exit speed and you'll lose quite a bit of time, I think. Probably a tenth, if I had to guess, maybe even more. If you're as wide as I am here, because I have to delay my throttle or I just get a wheel spin, as you'll see when I play. By the way, I didn't mention I was looking for about 48, 49 mile an hour for the last corner. Same as how I started in the lab, basically. Maybe it's slightly faster, just to maximize the time to the line. I had to lift the throttle as you saw as I played. I lifted the throttle just to regain traction. Anyway, let's start. 105.687. Now, I'll say one of my early laps, I think I was on for mid, like a 0.4, 0.5, and it took me so long to get a half decent lap in. I see, I've done 407 kilometers. That's about 250 miles. It's around there. So, as of recording, the top time is by Damien. He's done a 104, like 780, something like that. I'm nearly a second behind, and I genuinely, like I said at the beginning of the video, can only maybe see 3, 4 attempts in it. But this is all I am willing to do because this is a frustrating experience. But I will show you how to see my lap of this because I could not get close to the top 10. So I could not get a replay from the leaderboard. So I'll show you how to see my lap time and how to get to the 2 mil credits. Cheers. To get to the lap time challenge, go to sport mode top right. Online time trials. And you select your car if you've got it and enter it here, or enter it and enter it here. Now to see a replay of my lap, in case you're interested. I want more reference points from it, etc. Go to showcase one left on the home screen. Go to content search, content type replays, keyword, my name. It is this one here. You can view it here. I will mention quickly I use default ABS and controller sensitivity 10. You have to use on this combo. I think any less, good luck getting gold. But I think even with my lap time, I'll probably be about 2% off the top time because that is how much slower the controller is compared to real, in my opinion. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Good luck, have fun. Don't get too frustrated doing this. Maybe initially one multiple laps just to get used to how the car handles, how it brakes, and how the track goes, etc. But I would recommend trying to do your best lap on your first lap, otherwise your tyres will probably overheat on the second lap, etc. Hope you enjoyed. Good luck. Hope it helps. Goodbye.